I come out of the tech realm. So I trained as an electrical engineer and really moved to Ottawa too many years ago. And because there was a huge semiconductor boom happening here in Ottawa, Silicon Valley North, and I was enamored with microchips and everything around it. Worked for a great company called LSI Logic, and was able to really grow in that role. Took some time off to have two kids, but uh, a gentleman that I had worked with during a co-op job pulled me back into the industry, and I helped grow a company called Chipworks. 23 years of co-founding an amazing company. I ended up being president for the last 13 years and really taking that company to the next stage. And then finally selling the company in 2016 to our largest competitor. And then I retired and got even busier. And I've been busy working with entrepreneurs of different types. And it was pretty clear as I joined Invest Ottawa and then later Capital Angel Network that there was a big gap for women. Women entrepreneurs weren't making it. They were not getting that funding they needed to really grow, and they weren't actually showing up either. Was the interesting part. So Capital Angel Network. I was the third woman out of about 50 angels to join back in 2018. That's not that long ago. And I was a little surprised it was still so male dominated. But so it was a twofold problem. Women were showing up at these investor meetings to pitch to a room full of men. And we knew right away that the issue really needed two things to happen. One, we supported more women and helped them get investment ready, and that we actually got more women investing. And that really I found exciting. But I also learned that women want different things. They want to learn more before they start investing, and so that's a component of the program we do. And now, today, we can say that our Booot investors have invested $1 million to date into the graduates of Booot, and 51 companies have graduated from the program, and we're really happy with that at this point. Oh, there's so many, but I'll talk about Hope Pet Food because I'm a techie. She's a techie. And she's really put time into the science behind what she's created, really wanting to do something different that really hits on a few major points, and sustainability is one. She's looking at different new alternative proteins like insects and algae to create nutritious food that is much more sustainable in terms of pet food going forward. But also, she's making sure it hits all the nutritional requirements and is hypoallergenic. And I just love that she's pulled that all together, and I really want to see her succeed. It's always money. You hear things like, I've been mentored enough, I need to find the money. And I think that women, and 2/3 of the Booot founders are impact-driven companies, and those don't necessarily have the kind of hockey stick kind of growth that most investors want. So they need more patient money, which is one of their struggles, is finding that. And those kind of challenges are being improved as they find. First of all, more people are thinking about impact investment, which is great. There's some great organizations out there as well as individual investors. But so that's helping. But I do think I tell them to look for women first because women are willing to give that first investment to help them keep this going and get to the next stage. I tell them to get their house in order, make sure they're prepared. a pitch is not everything. A pitch is important, and a pitch needs to hit, certain components to really get across to investors properly. But you need to make sure that there's substance behind that. So if you're doing a financial forecast, for example, well, show how that's built. Give us the bottoms up. Make sure that people know that this is real, not just throwing out numbers. But also make sure that you have the proper incorporation, shareholder bylaws, everything that the investor is just going to. If they don't see them, they're going to walk away, and you're going to lose an opportunity. So be prepared is a big one. And that's what Booot does, is help women be investor ready by having what they need and not losing those important opportunities. It's worth doing your homework. It's worth understanding who's who. It's worth, and there's lots of material available to investigate that, even just looking at websites, but also asking around at the angel level who's interested in what. I love telling founders to ask for advice first, and interview the investor too, right? Find out more about what is important to them, and while you're asking for advice, and then come back around and look for those dollars when you really need it. That's called relationship building, and is a key part of early stage investment. They use the term strategic for that. It really means think about think about whether it's a good match between the two of you. You don't want someone that is just watching the numbers. You want somebody supporting you, helping you grow, and getting to the next stage. One, you could be a Booot investor, and what we do for Booot investors is we ask for $10,000, and then pretty well support them through the process. But what I did was I just joined an angel group, and that was great to spend a little bit of time looking and watching and just seeing how things worked. And at Capital Angel Network, we make sure that people have the opportunity to just observe in a deep dive rather than indicate they have an interest in investing, and so that you can gain a lot of knowledge and listening to the other investors and their opinions. But also there's some great education out there. Financial Feminism through the 51 is fantastic, and I highly recommend that. University of Calgary, it's available, and it's just a good overview to learn a bit more about what all the terms mean. It's a new language, really. Yeah. I just love what is being created today. I mean, I really got into this because I got fed up with the numbers of women in tech. I'll be clear on that. They haven't changed in ages. So about 25% of women are in tech jobs in Canada right now, and that number has been unchanged for almost 20 years. Why is that? Because tech companies haven't changed. And so I love what we're doing here, because I'm looking for women to create $100 million companies that women work for and go, yes, I want to work for tech companies, and then really show the rest of the tech companies what's required to make sure that you are utilizing the vast abilities of half the population of Canada.